he was just 20, tattooed, homeless, bipolar. And on the day he threw his own dog into a yard of killers, he said he was high out of his mind. But the court didn't just see a monster, they saw a broken soul. And now he's facing 8 years, hundreds of hours of service, and one haunting question: can trauma ever excuse cruelty?
Probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2024 CR 5756, State of Texas versus Xavier Renee Martinez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Xavier Renee, Your Honor.
Defense?
Leslie Sahanovich, Mr. Martinez.
And are you Xavier Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Martinez, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, did you review what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with cruelty to non-livestock? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea? If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He has.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is.
Mr. Martinez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $2,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, it is.
State is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Off the record. Is Hickman out? Can you have Hickman brought up, Deputy? Her attorney's on Zoom. We're back on the record. Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There you are.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 7 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 250 hours of community service restitution, and no ownership of any animals. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. City Exhibit 12,
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so, how old was Shadow?
So a little over a year.
So he's a year, which, is that still considered a puppy?
In age, I may assume he was still grown. He was pretty grown, but in age, I assume he was a puppy.
All right, so he's a puppy. So what were you saying to your puppy before you threw him in a fence with other dogs to be killed by them?
Nothing. At the time of the moment of what I did, I was under the influence of a lot of drugs at the time, and I wasn't in the right mindset. And
No, it says here, a male pedestrian walking his dog, that's you, began yelling at it and then tossed it over the fence.
I can't remember a lot of that time.
Mhm.
I know what I did, and I can't remember some of the moments in between leading up to it and after it.
So what do you remember? So you throw your 1-year-old dog over the fence with other canines. And then what? You just stood there?
No, I ran, but I do remember the noises the dog made, and
Why did you run after you threw the canine over, well, Shadow over the fence?
there was nothing I could do after that. What I did was done.
Because of what?
There was nothing I could do after that. What I did was done. I just made the choice, the horrible choice to do that. And what I did was done, so I just ran and had to listen to her whine and yelp.
I'm sorry, what?
I just ran and I had to listen to her whine and yelp all the way back to my house.
Yeah, because so you knew there were other dogs in that, behind that fence.
Yes,
All right, because it says here that you told the police you didn't know there were other dogs, but it appears that you purposely walked the dog to that address. Do you have any children?
oh man,
Have you had employment?
yes, I was working as a helper with this man. They were giving me a lot of construction work to help him do a lot of things.
And who were you living with?
I was living with just by myself for most of the time, and my girlfriend.
All right, you really shouldn't have a girlfriend. I can't force you not to have a girlfriend, but there are other issues that you probably need to be working on. Does your girlfriend have children? So who was living in the house with you and your girlfriend?
Shadow, another dog,
And what?
another dog.
Okay, Shadow, and what's the other dog's name?
Yes, yeah.
Nessa?
Yes, yes.
Nessia? All right. So why didn't you take Nessia on this walk with you?
I don't know. Like I said, I was under the influence of a lot of different drugs, and I wasn't mentally competent at the time that whole day.
And what type of dog is Nessa? Nessia.
It was a pit bull.
All right, so you have a pit bull and Shadow was staff.
It was that.
Yes.
It was a pit lab, I believe.
All right. And how did you come to be the owner of Shadow?
I bought him off of a neighbor.
Mhm. Everybody's just selling their dogs to anybody without checking anything. Had Shadow had any shots?
Not that I know of.
No. Have you ever had any mental health issues?
It's not.
What?
Bipolar, depression, anxiety, ADHD, some manic disorders.
Have you ever been on any medications?
It's not.
What medications?
Right now, I'm taking the Prexa. I just recently got on it last week. I was supposed to be on Lexapro, but for some reason, they're not giving it to me. And Abilify. And throughout my lifetime, I've been on a lot of different medications.
And how far did you go in school?
Up to ninth grade, I couldn't get back into school because of CPS and all that, and just homelessness just bounced around.
All right, and how old are you?
20.
All right, and what's with all the tattoos on the face? What's that about?
Oh, when I was 16, I was really bad on drugs at the time, and I was just in a motel room, really, really high, and my dad left a tattoo gun and ink, and I tied myself up, my face and my arms, and I've been trying to get it. I went to get it removed once, and I'm planning to go again to get it completely removed on my face and on my hands and arms.
Okay. All right, is there anything else I should know about you?
Just what I did with that dog. I don't want to sound full of it, but it hurts me a lot when I think about it. I try to shake the thoughts of what I did. Regardless of what I did, I actually cared a lot about that animal. Uh, I love that dog. Hearing the sounds it made gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. When I think about the time I used to play with it, it's gonna hurt my soul. It's gonna hurt me deep down in my heart that I did a horrible act that can't come back. And it's gotta take it up with God from here on forth with that.
All right, this is what court is gonna do. Court is gonna sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. There's to be a mouth evaluation and a felony drug court evaluation and TAP evaluation. That's gonna take place in custody. And we'll do felony drug court evaluation first because have a very quick turnaround. If he's not accepted into felony drug court, then it's you to follow the TAP recommendations. There's to be no contact with minors until further notice. There's to be no contact with animals until further notice. 250 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order you to get your GED or either go to some type of trade school. Once that's completed, his community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be a $2,500 fine. That will be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. The UA hotline until further notice. 120 sober support meetings in 120 days. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Have you ever been to prison or TYC, what they used to call TYC?
No, ma'am.
All right. Have you had any contact with your mom or your father in recent years?
My mom and my dad are in here.
I'm sorry?
My mom and my dad are in here.
You say in jail?
Yeah.
All right. So probation, is there any type of trauma therapy for him? I know it seems as though I'm giving you a lot of programs to complete, but you need a lot.
I want to.
Okay. So we could set up some type of, I know that I'm asking for the mental health evaluation, but he's also probably going to need some sort of trauma therapy. He's probably going to need a counselor for the CPS issues that brought him into the government sphere. Also the trauma issues in regards to shadow. The fact that his parents are at the Bexar County Jail while he's at the Bexar County Jail. Do you have any siblings, sisters and brothers?
I do, but my dad was real violent with his baby mama, so she doesn't allow me to see his kids, so I haven't seen my sister and my brothers.
All right. So we have that to deal with as well. Probation. Is there anything else he needs? I'm sorry, what?
Pause, PAW.
All right, we'll do pause education course. All right, anything else from probation?
No.
Is there anything else you need from the court?
I know. Is there a way I could through a program or some way, but into Haven for Hope or Oxford House.
Oh, they're going to see if they can place you somewhere. What's going to end up happening is you're going to be evaluated for felony drug court. If felony drug court accepts you, then felony drug court will speak to you about housing and everything. All right. All right. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
It's not.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I know there's a lot of programs I just dumped on you, but you need a lot of help, right? So do not get overwhelmed by the programs. Just work the programs mentally, internally, so you can improve. Do you understand?
It's not.
Do not just throw your hands up. Do not disappear. Because what you're looking at, if a motion to revoke were filed, is 10 years in the prison. Now, if there's an issue, let your officer know. If you feel as though you're not able to get in touch with your officer, or you still are not receiving the answers, you can always come back to the court and you can talk to me. You understand?
It's not.
All right, good luck to you.
One more last thing. I don't have a birth certificate. I don't have a social ID. I've never had an ID. So is there any way probation can help me get all that so I could be?
Well, let me ask you this. I used to do child protective services cases. Did you age out of the child protective services system? By that, I mean, did your parents ever retain custody of you?
No,
All right, were you ever adopted?
yes, when I was younger, yes.
All right, so when you were adopted, that person should have your birth certificate and all of that information. If they don't want to give it to you, or if they're saying they don't have it, the people who should have it is your child protective services worker. And counsel, if you go next door to CPS court, the one with the green rooftop on the second floor, they will be able to direct you the easiest way to get your birth certificate, your social security card. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I came in and